and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Katie, and today I'm talking about no spice romance books that you can find on Kindle Unlimited. I searched back in my borrowed list, which you can actually go back and look at the ones that you borrowed and stuff, which is great because that way I can share with you the ones that are on Kindle Unlimited that I have personally enjoyed and read. These are all no spice. I would honestly probably give them to my teenage daughter if I had a teenage daughter. But these are all books that I've enjoyed and loved on Kindle Unlimited. If you're in the mood for a Scottish Highland romance, check out the Loved by a Highlander series by Deborah Poten. The entire series is on Kindle Unlimited, and do not let the covers fool you. I've talked about this series before, and the men on the covers are shirtless in kilts, but the covers on Goodreads are not like that at all. They're all sweet, clean, they're all sweet, no spice reads. There is probably one or two kisses in the entire book. So I would definitely enjoy this series at pretty much any age. I just enjoy the series as a whole. I love the setting, the characters. In each book, we're following a different brother in this clan, in this Scotland clan, and the woman they fall in love with. And the first book is still my favorite. I love the first book, followed probably by the third book, I would think. But overall, a really fantastic series. I love the setting. I love the characters. It just feels as if you're in Scotland, and I really enjoyed this whole series. I will be reading the fifth and final book this summer. If you enjoy high intense action, very minimal romance, if any at all, and great characters that keep you up at night reading, check out the Holly series by CC Warrens. She is an indie published author and a fantastic writer. I have loved every book that I've read by her. It's fantastic. Make sure to check out the trigger warnings though, as this book does deal with PTSD as well as physical assault in these books. So I would not give it to a younger person, but as an adult, I love the series so much. Marks is my favorite. If you read the series, let me know who your favorite character is, but Marks is definitely my favorite in the series. I think he is a wonderful father figure and such a great cop. I love him so much. But the series is fantastic. We're following Holly, who is a foster child, grown up now, but she was abused by her foster brother in the past, and she is on the run from him and pretty much has been running her entire life. And she ends up staying in this city and making friends, even though it's totally against her will to make friends. She is constantly on the move, constantly on the run, but she makes friends, and along the way are also some mysteries as well as old enemies come to the surface. But it's such a great series. I have read books 1 through 3. I have not continued on because, well, I kind of want to wait until like the whole series is out, but it's not out yet. I'm slowly enjoying these as they come out. Romance in Viking era times, yes please. Check out The Huntress by Carrie Cotton. It is a series of Viking era, medieval time era stories, and there's a bit of romance, there is action, adventure. The first book is very much reminiscent of a female-inspired Robin Hood retelling, and I just love the series as a whole, especially book 2, which is called The Viking. It's my favorite of the entire series. I am currently reading book 4 now in the hopes of book 5, because book 5 I think is the last one in the series. So I'm going to be sad when it's all over, but I've enjoyed this series so much, and I can't wait to read book 4 and end in book 5 because it's such a fantastic series. There is romance. I will say there is not heavy romance, but the characters do get married. There is like a very subtle hint to married life, but it's very like, I wouldn't even honestly call it fade to black. It's not even that. It's definitely closed door, very minimal mention of the married life, as we say, but I really did enjoy the whole series so far, as far as I read anyways. If you enjoy the spy life, romance, and a lot of humor, I really loved Janessa Faith. She has written a duology plus a novella, and it's called the Caught in Chaos collection. And I think I read that there was a book 3 in it that I haven't read. Let me double check. Oh no, it's it's a short story. Yes, 2 short stories and 2 duology. But it's called Cotton Chaos. And let me tell you, the second book is fantastic. The first book is still fantastic too. Date with Danger and Taken with Trouble. And it has to do with spies, romance. It's hilarious and funny. And it has to do with characters that like shouldn't really be in the spy life. At least that's the first book. But it's just so much fun. I love the characters. I love the romance. So book 1, I think just an average, ordinary girl ends up in the spy life by accident. And then the second book, we're following 2 spies that are enemies to more. And I just loved both books so much. They were fantastic. They were funny. They were no spice. And I had a great time with those. If you enjoy mafia romances, as I do, and you want no spice options, because that's all that I read now, check out these 2 authors. Rora Noir, who is the author of the Dark Love series. She also, it's a sister team, Sweet Chaos series, and there's one other series which I haven't read yet. It's their first series, but I haven't read it yet, but I will be soon, definitely. But if you love mafia, kisses only, very minimal kissing too. I will say the kissing is a little bit more descriptive, but like nothing like no spice kissing. But I just love it. If you love action and adventure and a little bit of a mystery kind of mixed in throughout the entire series, like there's 3 different series and they're all kind of interconnected. So I will have to go back and read the first series at some point. But I have such a fun time with this series. I love the characters, love the action. I will say, make sure to watch for trigger warnings and stuff, because it does deal with a bit more of heavier topics, because it is about mafia and crime and stuff, but it is really an enjoyable series. And then the other series that is Closed Door Mafia, and that is Cass Avalon. And the series is called, what is the series called? I'm looking at only one of the books here. Bound by Vows by Cass Avalon. And it has 4 books in the series. I've read 3 out of the 4 so far. I'm working on the last one, which I actually think there's going to be more coming out anyway. So it's not the last one. So it's a closed door mafia romance. I will say the kissing is a little bit more on the heavier side, but it is closed door. And I don't think there is any love scenes in the books. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there is. Not even closed door. But the kissing scenes can get a little bit more on the heavier side. But overall, really love the series. As I said, mafia romance. I have a good time with them. They're a great time. So in this one, I think we're following one mafia family, and we're following all the brothers plus a sister and their love interest. I love following the same family in a story or in a series, because we get to see each of the characters and their love stories, which I love. You all may have heard of this book, at least on my channel, because it's my favorite, and that is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. It's on Kindle Unlimited. You have no excuse if you have Kindle Unlimited. Go and read it. But if you have no idea what this book is about, where have you been? But it's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. But this is a fairy tale, fun story. I honestly, in my opinion, when I do a lot of rereads, I tend to skip the beginning, because the beginning is more of a autobiographical sketch of supposedly of the author's life and stuff. So I tend to skip over that and just start with the story. Feel free to do that too, because honestly, the beginning kind of lags, but the actual story of The Princess Bride is amazing, and I love it, and it's amazing. It's got sword fighting, revenge, true love. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, or at least like it. You're gonna like it. But it's on Kindle Unlimited, so I had to mention it because obviously it's my favorite book. One of my favorite authors has quite a few books on Kindle Unlimited. Melanie Dickerson. One of her series that I read last year, the Regency Spies of London series, is all on Kindle Unlimited, all 3 books, and it's such a great series. It's Regency romance mixed with spies. 2 of my favorite things. They are no spice. I would give these to my, young teenage daughter or whatever, but I absolutely love that series. It's one of my favorites. I don't really remember a lot about it because it was a while ago that I read it, and I've read like the majority of Melanie Dickerson's books, so they don't quite blend all together, but they kind of do because I have read the majority of her books. But fantastic series if you love Regency. a little bit of romance, and a whole lot of spy and mystery. If you enjoy fantasy fairy tale retellings, check out this book, which is one of my book besties, her debut novel, which is called Ariadne and the Legend of the Fire Rose by Christy A. Cole. That's on Kindle Unlimited, and it is such a sweet read with fantasy and mystery. It's book 1 in a series, so book 2 is not out yet. So if you want to wait, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a great book, and you'll really enjoy it. I will most likely be rereading it when the next book comes out. But I really did enjoy it. Very, very well written, as well as I really enjoyed the characters and their journey along the way. It's about a woman who is found in the woods. She's running from something in the woods, and her parents tell her to keep going, and be safe at this castle or whatever in the middle of the woods. Well, she loses her parents. I have no idea what happened to the parents, if they're alive or not. But she ends up at this castle where there's this school for girls, and she ends up joining them. And they're just a little bit more than just a school for girls, as we're also learning weaponry and other type of stuff that women shouldn't normally learn, at least back then. If you enjoy fantasy, check out The Whisperer's Wish by Janice Lloyd. And this book I remembered it when I was reading a little bit of the description because it's been a while. I remember really, really enjoying this book. So we're following a woman or a girl, since it's more YA fantasy, but we're following a girl who, she's been keeping a secret. She's known as a whisperer, and these whisperers are hunted down for their special abilities, and she's been keeping it secret her whole life. But she finds out that there's this battle. It's a little bit like Hunger Games, a little bit, but she finds out about this competition, and the winner wins a wish. And she really, really needs that wish, not for herself, but for someone else. And so she enters the contest, and pretty much she's found out that she's a whisperer. So things don't go as planned, and it's a great story. I really did enjoy that one. Justice by Emily Conrad. I will say this was a fantastic book, but make sure to check out the trigger warnings. So in this book, we're following a couple in a small town, and the main man in the story, he was meant to marry this girl Brooklyn. He is meant to marry her, but then one day he finds out that she is pregnant, and he is not the father. And so it's a story of heartbreak and learning to love, even through past mistakes. It's just a beautiful told story. I love it so much. It was my first book by Emily Conrad, and I would definitely read more of her work because it was such a fantastic read, and you'll have to check it out. It's very good. One of my favorite authors for just an emotional connection with characters and love stories is Lara Longa. Now, I will say, I'm glad I didn't stop with the first book I ever read by her, because I will say that for some reason, I think she changed a little bit while writing her books. But I read the Love of Tucson series first. And the first book I ever read by her was Haley and the Yeti. And I loved it. The relationship, the character storytelling. However, this one and this one only, at least as far, because I've read a good 4 or 5 of her books so far. This is the only one that definitely had a fade to black scene in it. It got a little heavy. It was more of a make-out session with the kissing. So I wasn't sure if she was an author for me, honestly, because I liked the story. I really love the characters, but that one scene, I was hesitant to pick up another book by her. But I read the next book, which is called Date the Alphabet, and that one I think may have had a fade to black, but it was a lot more subtle. Then the next book didn't have any love scenes in it, and the book in a different series by the author didn't have it in it. So it might have just been that first one, and I'm very, very grateful that I didn't stop reading her books because I actually really, really enjoy her characters. Her characters have such a great emotional connection. I love the banter. I loved everything about them. So I'm really happy that I didn't stop with Haley and the Yeti. That was the only thing, the makeout scene was a bit too much. So I did try to skim and skip past that. Everything else in the story, though, was fantastic. I loved it. So she is one author that I would just be a little hesitant going into, but overall I do really love her books. Ribbon of Years by Robin Lee Hatcher. It's been a long time since I've read this book, and I forgot it was on Kindle Unlimited. It's a great read. It was my first by the author. It won't be the last. I loved this book. It was honestly a surprise 6-star read for me. I think one of you guys recommended it to me, so thank you for that. But I loved this one. This is about a woman who, it's dual timeline, and this woman goes to an estate sale, and she finds an old box of belongings and stuff, and this guy comes about, and he starts telling you stories about the woman who owned these items in the box. And then we're falling back in time, and we're following the woman who owned the box in her life, and it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I just loved it. I loved the ending. I felt the author was getting a little bit into more worldly topics, but she did a fantastic job at it. Fantastic job at it. I was very, very pleased with it. Mary Meekum is one of my favorite fairy tale retelling authors. She has such an extremely unique twist on fairy tale retellings, and she's one of the only ones that I've really, really read a lot from. I've read a good 4 or 5 of her books so far, and I really enjoyed every single one of them. The first one I ever read by her, I think, was it Hunting Sirens? No, I don't think it was. It was the first book in that series. What was the first book? It's the Legends of Neverland series, which I still have to continue with, by the way. But the first book I read was Becoming Hook, I think, is the first one. But I read Becoming Hook, and it's Tinkerbell and Hook's story. And of course I had to read it because I'm a huge Hook fan from Once Upon a Time TV series. So I had to read it, and I really did enjoy it. So I continued with book 2. I don't think I continued past that so far. No, I haven't. So I do need to continue. Oh, I own book 3. I did not know that. So I can go ahead and read that. But there are 6 books in the series. But I think book 5 comes out this next month, and book 6 comes out next year. So she does already have a few more in that series, which I'm super excited about. But she writes very unique, twisty fairy tale retellings that I have a great time with. Very good, very interesting, entertaining, and I love them. So make sure to check her out because she does have very high ratings. She's also hugely funny on YouTube, and I think she's on TikTok too. One of my absolute favorite books is on Kindle Unlimited. I also have the physical copy. I think it's right there, like second row in, but I can kind of tell where it is. It's called Better Watch Out by Natalie Walters. And yes, it is a Christmas book, but I have to mention it because it's phenomenal. In this book, we're following a woman who goes to New York City, and you can tell the author's been to New York City. The storytelling, the setting, it just feels like you're visiting New York City. It's fantastic. But this woman is visiting New York City to surprise her I think it's her fiance or her boyfriend. It could be her boyfriend. I think she's planning, or she thinks he's going to propose, so she goes off and surprises him. And come to find out, he's already engaged to somebody else. So he's a jerk. So she ends up deciding, I made a list of things I'd like to do in New York City while I'm here. I'm going to stay here and actually do them. So she stays, but she ends up getting involved with some stuff and ends up needing a bodyguard. And I love the bodyguard. He is such a great character. I love the story. As I said, the setting is beautiful. And he actually takes her, while protecting her, he takes her to visit New York City, and I just loved it. And there's supposedly there's going to be more in the series. I hope so. Natalie, if you're listening, write those books. Please, write those books. All right, anyways, okay. On to more books. Let's see if there's any other ones that I've read on Kindle Unlimited. I know I have a ton more, but I'm trying to find the ones that I've only read on, because I know there's a ton that I've gotten from my library that are on Kindle Unlimited, but I didn't want to have to do a huge deep dive into what I've read. I think that was my last book I have for you. I went through all of my Kindle Unlimited past reads, and those are the ones that I have enjoyed the most that I thought you guys would enjoy checking out if you have Kindle Unlimited. Or if you've never had Kindle Unlimited, they do for new members and stuff, a free 30-day trial, although I would wait because sometimes they have 2 or 3 month trial. So just as a heads up, check back every now and then, see if they have a new trial going on. You can only get it if you've been a member before, you can only get a new membership like maybe once a year, once every other year, but definitely check it out. If you've never been a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, you can get free 30 days or sometimes a little bit more. Just keep checking back. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know some of your favorite Kindle Unlimited reads. I would love to possibly add them into my 3-mile long list I have for Kindle Unlimited. So I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.